All right, everybody, it is Are You Well Wednesday. And we have on our panel here myself, Heidi Lindsay, your wellness companion, and we have beautiful Miss Mai Tai on here, our foodie on CWC. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a wonderful topic this week, and it is the Mediterranean diet and how it benefits your health. So very excited to share this stuff with you. We have a couple people that is going to be coming on here at a later time. So we're excited. Right now, it's just us two girls. We was doing a little pre-show in the beginning there, doing some movement. So again, very excited. If you love our topics on Wednesday, be sure to share. If you have any questions, we'd be so excited and happy to answer any of your questions during or after the show. So if you have anything more that you would like to know, please write us or ask us, message us in the CWC community. So without any further ado, I'm going to let Miss Mai say hello and introduce and speak for a second, and then we'll get right into this Mediterranean diet. So,
Hi, everybody. This is Mai. I'm coming to you from California in my kitchen, as always. And I am excited about this topic. I don't know that much about the Mediterranean diet, but from what I've heard, it is lots of fish, lots of good oil, lots of vegetables, lots of good stuff. So I can't wait to get my learn on with Miss Heidi. And also, if you are tuning in live, please type in the comment and let us know where you're coming from. And please give StreamYard permission. Just click on the StreamYard/Facebook so that we can see who is typing in the comment. Because right now, somebody's saying, hey, ladies, and we don't know. It just says Facebook user. So tell us where you're coming from and what do you know about the Mediterranean diet, or what have you heard? Anything like that. So back to you, Miss Heidi.
all right, awesome. Yes, my we hear so much, and what I love here about Are You Well Wednesday is we have in our community so many different people with different needs and different likes and different wants, and so I try to go on here every week and pick a topic about different plans. They're all healthy. Which one is geared towards you? So, without any further ado, we're going to speak about this Mediterranean diet. And this is a diet that is very dear and near to me and my heritage. And so, very excited. This was based on traditional foods that people used in countries like Greece, Italy, Spain, other ones here, and usually very popular in the 1960s. Okay, so and when you think about those different countries, what was they by? There's not a lot of woods like in America here we go hunting, we eat a lot of animal based products, right? Where they're more there by the ocean, right? They have that whole view, beautiful ocean. So what exactly do you think that their diet is going to be? Mainly seafood, fish, right? So that's what it's a lot of that. But researchers have found that these people back then in those certain countries are very, very healthy people with longevity and with very few diseases, especially heart disease, anything like that. So, you got now, this is a different time. We talk about a lot, and even in America here, but a lot of people in different countries and stuff did not have the resources that we did. So they farmed a lot, they fished a lot, right? So that there, when we're talking about this Mediterranean diet, they lived off the land and in the sea. So that is their this diet helps with weight loss. And if you check the notes there, helps with weight loss, strokes, type 2 diabetes, premature death. It is um, definitely a diet that is for longevity. There's no right or wrong way to follow like one specific way. Some people alter. And again, I would say talk to your physician or somebody you trust in the medical field before starting any new diet. This one here, again, you're talking about basic foods, okay? That we talk about a lot on here, healthy foods. This diet here mainly consumes vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, some potatoes, whole grain, herbs, spices there, fish, seafood, and the big one here too, which has gotten very popular here in the United States in the past few years when we talk about good oils like extra virgin olive oil, okay? When you notice too, a lot of people that utilize that or eat fish, um, Asian too, all of that, their hair, their skin, nails, absolutely beautiful. A lot of this is great oils. You get your omega threes from the fish, and all of that, which is great for skin health and hair and all of that. So, um, would you like to discuss any of those there? Anything that I went through? Do you have any questions or any comments that you would like to
Yeah.
add to with that?
Yeah, good fats is so essential for growth and it keeps you fuller. So when we're talking about the Mediterranean diet, they use a ton of olive oil in their dressing, in their cooking, and it's really good for your skin, your hair, like you said. And preferably you want to use the first press virgin olive oil, right? So that it's not gone through too much processing. I use that in my home. I also use that avocado oil, coconut oil. I'm not sure if that's part of the Mediterranean, but like choose really good fat versus like something that's more processed, like canola oil or something that's like more inflammatory.
Right, that has the saturated fats rather than the monosaturated. And we have our guest on here, Christine Lombardo. How are you? It is so good to see you.
Yeah,
Christine, we
you
are,
too.
yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm hoping you can hear me well. I have Sprint and I'm like kind of in the middle of nowhere right now. So
Yeah, well, I can hear you real good. Can you hear real good? Yeah. So we're just discussing here. I was going over a little bit of the history with the Mediterranean diet, and I was discussing about the different countries. I was discussing Italy, Spain, Greece, countries like that that was close to the sea. Um, and I was talking
Mhm.
about how their resources was a little bit limited to compare to like America and stuff. So they grew a lot of their own foods, and they obviously fished instead of, we're in the woods here, a lot of animal product here in the United States. So that's kind of where to catch you up in here. So would you like to first and foremost give a little introductory so everybody can see and know who you are?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So normally I'm not sitting in my car, but my son has jujitsu today. And I really wanted to jump on this because I missed the Wednesday forum. So here I am. I am a certified holistic nutritionist, and most of my clients that I have, we deal with like hypothyroidism, insulin resistance, PCOS, of course, weight loss, and just working on a healthier lifestyle and really focusing on different pillars of health, which is one of the things that I absolutely love about Courtney's Wellness Companion is that the focus is not just food or just exercise, it's all of it. It's sleep, stress management, nutrition, fitness, and I know there's 5 pillars um, that you guys have. I run off 4, but mentorship is huge as well, and really like learning from one another. And so I just absolutely love what I do. I know that um, learning from those 4 different pillars in my own life has absolutely changed the game for me. So I turned around and try to give that back to others.
Awesome. Well, Christine, we absolutely love having you on there and getting, we learned so much from you too. And thank you for sharing so much. So
Yeah,
yeah, like that's the whole thing. Now we was talking about me and my is that on here on Wednesdays, Are You Well Wednesdays, try to pick topics that are geared for everybody because we go through the keto diet. We're doing the Mediterranean diet, trying to do all of these, and your basic is all pretty much healthy foods, but there's not a one size fits all. Like what works for some might not work for another. What some can tolerate, somebody cannot. So I love here that we just go over all in general health. That's it. Movement, different
absolutely.
diets, foods, all of that. So yeah, I love that. And I'm so glad that you are a part of it. So wonderful people on the panel. Um, so when we talk about the Mediterranean diet, would you like to speak on anything that you know? Do you have any questions or anything that you want to share your knowledge as far as the Mediterranean diet?
Yeah, it's I would honestly think it's one of the more popular diets. It's um there's a book written, it's called The China Study. And while the diet reference in the China study is slightly different than the Mediterranean diet, it kind of helped to popularize the idea of eating more vegetables, more legumes like beans and, healthy rice, slow digesting carbs instead of what we consume a lot in the United States, which is
Processed.
sugar and white breads and yeah, everything processed. And so, eating fruit kind of when it's in season, and because we need that too, it's vitamin C in it. Eating less meat, which is also countercultural for the United States. Um, and then I think the big thing with the Mediterranean diet is trying to keep your animal products, meaning meat, eggs, cheese, any of that, to about 10% of your diet. And they've showed that throughout the world, they have certain zones, they call them blue zones. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Yeah, just to top. Yep.
Yeah, so the blue zones, which is super fascinating to have the highest count of centenarians in the entire world. And there's one spot in the United States that is considered a blue zone right in Los Angeles, which, they were super shocked to find that out because it's Los
Yeah.
Angeles. And but it is a group of Seventh-day Adventists who are vegetarians for religious reasons, and they don't smoke and they don't drink, and they eat a ton of vegetables, obviously, and like a ton of fresh fruit. They really focus on diet and lifestyle. And one of the biggest components that um, exists in the blue zones is not just diet that has these folks living past 100 years old. It's not just that they're up and they're active every single day. They also showed that it is based on culture, and that everybody gets up, there's friends, family, they're constantly meeting and eating with one another, they're doing things together. They don't feel like this sense of loneliness that a lot of Americans deal with. And I can only speak on this country because it's one I live in. Um, but that was a huge factor, is actually getting people together and having relationships with one another. That is a huge contributing factor in their overall health, and scientists were shocked to find out longevity.
You know what, Christine? I'm so glad you said that. You were so right because here in the United States, it's such a fast pace that we get away from. And actually, it's so funny here because that's one of my bullets that I wanted to hit was with the Mediterranean diet. You're finding these families that are eating, or these cultures that are sitting down with their family eating these. sitting down. So we're sitting down at a table, we're discussing, we're talking. So you have, like you said, that sense of family. Your stress levels are down, right? You're sitting upright. How many times people are eating and they're on the run? They're either, they might be in their car, they might be laying down, but you're sitting at a table, your digestive system, it's going down. The whole thing with that, and in family. And I know it's so hard a lot of times in the United States. We try to stress how important it is for families. That's what we talked about a couple weeks ago, is to maybe, even if you took a day or two, because a lot of times both people have to work, so it almost gets impossible to sit down. But that's where you see this come in with different cultures. And I'd love to see the United States get back to that if it was ever possible, or to at least again try that a day, maybe on a Sunday or one day that they have available. So that there, I think, is so important. And again, that you're happy, you're talking, you're conversing, your energy levels are up just having people around, right? Willing that you like them. Now, you might have some family that you don't want, but that's a different kind of energy that we could touch on another time. So,
Absolutely, but that still builds character.
yes, yes,
Being around people that you don't like, I feel like family is that testing ground, for learning silence and patience. Um,
yes,
yeah, like it's beautiful. It's to be able to sit down and break bread with people, and starting with family, and we really make it a point to at least 5 days a week eat at the table. The discussions are different, the topics are different. My son drags his feet, he's like, at the table again, and I'm like, yes,
yes,
again. But twice a week he has like a little fold up table or whatever, and so we're like, okay, you get to pick the movie, and
yeah,
twice a week we'll have like dinner in front of the TV. But it's just so important to have and build that relationship within your house first, if it's possible.
exactly. And then I also find too that when you do that, and I even know myself too, when I'm kind of by myself, or just don't have that family situation, you tend to eat
Mm.
more when you're around the table. And this all goes in, the reason why we're discussing this, because this is a culture that we're talking about, eating this Mediterranean. And you talk about different ones, their cultures, you look at, like you said, even Asian, all that they sit and they have that community. And when you're talking and you're communicating, you're putting less in your mouth and you're talking more, right? So I notice that when I'm at family dinners or something, I'm not even really worried about eating. I'll eat, but it's not like I'm just going to go home. And if I'm by myself and I'm kind of depressed, or I'm by myself and there's nothing else, what am I doing? I'm shoveling more food in my mouth. So that's it. Bring more people over, and then you'll lose weight.
And honestly, like if I'm by myself, what I'm shoveling into my mouth is usually chips, or I'm just going to sit down and eat chips and salsa. Like I just don't care. But if I have family to cook for, or people are coming over, I step my game up. So
Right.
it's a whole different ball game. And then two, being from an Italian background, it's like if you don't eat, it's an insult. So
Yes. Oh, I know that.
right? So you
My
have
dad, many,
to.
yeah, many a times he's, what's wrong with you? Why don't you know eat? Dad, they're not
Yeah,
hungry. Oh no, they always gotta be hungry. No, they don't, Dad.
yeah, no, and I have inherited that. So
Oh my.
uh,
What you got to say over there?
Well, I love that Regina said conversations are better at the table with no devices. And that is so true. I am guilty, 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 guilty of that. My husband is always the one that says, gotta put the phone away. You can't be taking pictures of your food. Like sit here and enjoy the food because you're missing out. It's just like being together. So we try to have our meals, our lunch or dinner together, every day, so that we can visit, we can get to know each other a little bit better, just so that we're not so hectic rushing out so they can do the next thing. Because I know my son would scarf down his food and go to he watched his
Score.
TV or his game or whatever. So um,
Right.
yeah, it's just better, and it teaches you to be a better human being. And not to be like one of those weirdos that just eat and then run. Because you need to know how to conversate and make small talk. I know that we've been lacking a lot of that this past year, but it's a good skill to have. And and eating at the dinner, that's where the conversation starts. And Christina, you're sideway, by the way. So yeah, so keep talking. I have
She is still sideways.
on the screen share a picture of the pyramid. So if you want to talk about that, Heidi, can you see that? We can discuss it. Whatever you
Yes.
discuss.
In fact, I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm so glad that you put in there. If you notice here, we're going to go through there. So, that's what I'm trying to hear. Yeah. So these are the things here, and I have them down there too because I can't see a little bit on the screen with that. But we talk. Obviously, you got your pyramid here, so obviously the bigger end down here is what is more going to be consumed in the Mediterranean diet. So, right, you talk about whole grain foods usually at most meals. And again, all these too, daily exercise and weight control, portion control. Nothing wrong with having those whole grains and that. Some and it depends. Like I said, we talked about keto a lot and kind of doing as far as with carbs, keeping them low. If you do, again, portion control, good whole grains, plant oils. Let's talk about here. You have olive oil, soy oil, sunflower, peanut, and other vegetable. Usually the extra virgin oil there. I'm sorry, my daughter just walked up. Hello, life is life. And so we talk about vegetables. You see him moving up there. Vegetables in abundance. Lots of vegetables, great for digestion, right? We need some roughage in there to clean those pipes out and go down. So the oils are kind of lining those pipes for everything to kind of flush out, right? So our lipids and stuff are not gathering and sticking. Fruits, 2-3 times a day. Again, you have to watch your fruits too because there's a lot of fruits with a lot of sugar in them. So we have to be mindful of which fruits that we're eating. As we move up, we have nuts and stuff 1-3 times a day. I do, and that's wonderful for snacks. We are a big one here. My husband, all of us, he will too when he comes home. We always would have, we got almonds in here, walnuts. We put sunflowers and stuff and that on our salads to make that beautiful. So very important. And as you notice, as we get up here, it's a little less now. We got the fish, poultry, eggs, about 2-3 times a week. I like to incorporate them. So there's your protein. And as we move up, a little lower of the dairy, the calcium. And sometimes this could be a wonderful way of eating. I always hate the word diet, but a wonderful way of eating for those who have dietary intolerance. So like intolerance to milk or anything like that. So dairy intolerance. And then you look up here, very, very rare, red meat, butter, white rice. So those are, as you notice, and I want to go to the left, alcohol in moderation. But let me tell you, my uncles and stuff had drank a glass of wine, red wine, every night and lived past their 90s. So 94, 96. So very important. Now, if you have a alcohol issue or some type of that, then of course we say stay away from that. But wine is good. Wine is good. So what do you guys think on that, on the different stuff that we hit? Would you like to share, or anybody out in the audience there that has any questions about this pyramid?
So real quick, Regina had a couple comments. Here in the US, we have come to be a microwave society where we want everything so fast that the idea of community family time can get lost in the shuffle. So this past year has been an opportunity for us to slow down and regroup. Very.
I love that.
And then
Love, love, love that.
she also mentioned nuts are a great
Absolutely.
slow releasing carb.
Yes. And you know what I love about those two ladies there? We talk about Maya and Regina, watching them. If anybody, if you're able to and you have time, please watch these ladies come join us on the cooking show. Not only do we have a blast because Heidi over here likes to put her own ingredients in. Reading labels, read your labels. I like to put baking soda in sometimes when it's supposed to be baking powder, vice versa. So, but we have fun and it's a wonderful way to connect with your children. Let them start cooking. I wish I would have done that with my children when I was younger. I was always like, oh, just let, I was, nervous that they're going to get burned or that. Take advantage and let your kids cook with you.
Yes, my kids love to be in the kitchen with me. Not more, just so they can spend time with me. Not necessarily we're cooking anything great, but they're
Always
just
cooking something great.
But yeah, they like to be involved. They like to measure. They like to be in the middle of things. Sometimes it makes a bigger mess, but that's okay. It teaches them that you can have fun in the kitchen and you're making something like this mess becomes something in the end. And I know that Christina, your son, you guys he's a really good eater, right? And you mentioned something about French kids eats everything. So you want to talk about that?
He is a really good eater. And I love that you mentioned that having your kids help in the kitchen actually creates a bigger mess. I don't like messes. And that was one of the things that I had to get over. Was there's just going to be food all over the place. If we're baking, there's going to be stuff on the window, in front of the counter. It's going to be on the floor. Like, I really had to process that in my brain. I'm like, it's going to be a mess. Prepare yourself. And then in the middle of it, he's going to get bored and, walk away and watch YouTube or something. And that's totally fine. Just getting him in there and integrated into the kitchen is huge. And yes, I did read the book, French Kids Eat Everything, and it was just a game changer on how I introduced to him. I would say, can you guys hear me okay? Because I know I'm not super close to the internet.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Am I cutting out at all?
No, you was breaking just a little tiny bit, but you're back good.
Oh, she's frozen now. That happens all the time, and that's okay.
There she comes. I think she's back. Yeah, she's back. You froze for just a minute there, Christine.
Oh, still frozen. Well, Heidi, why don't you take over for the next point?
Yeah, Christine, if you can hear us, just interrupt me when you come back in. Just pick up where you was, okay? Okay. So we'll do. So the thing I want to talk about also too is is she back? Oh no, okay. Is the American Heart Association, for anybody out there that is suffering or on the border there of any heart diseases, anything like that, have a stroke. A lot of times the doctors will, it's so funny because the American Heart Association discussed the Mediterranean diet as a healthy dietary pattern that may reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases. Now, that is the American Heart Association that is telling us that, okay? So your different oils that, and like I said, we go back to what's our main purpose of wanting to be healthy and happy is longevity. So we're here with our families, enjoying our families to carry on for many years to come. So very much. If you know anybody, or if you're one that has a history of heart conditions, please look in, ask your doctor about the Mediterranean diet, because it is a wonderful dietary plan.
So
Also too, oh, go
just
ahead.
how does it exactly reduce cardiovascular diseases? I'm just curious.
Okay, well, we talk about the oils. Number one, what is the main thing anybody, when they tell you to have a supplement that is a heart supplement? Your omega-3s, right? And there's even the omega-7, I believe, but it's the omega-3s that is one of that. So you're getting so much. That's when your fish, your seafood, okay, so that's a big one in there for that. You're also your healthy oils. Um, you want to talk about your healthy oils, the monounsaturated fats, mostly notably oleic acid that's in there, okay, and for the lipids and all of that. So incorporating healthy fats actually helps your arteries. And if you could put up there on the screen, which is wonderful, this here, not much value as far as nutritional value there with the sweets and stuff, right? Just kind of, I always say it's kind of a not a free food, but this one out there not giving much nutrition. Your poultry and eggs, great. The chicken and stuff, great for protein, but you have to watch your butters. I use a plant-based butter now, and actually I absolutely love it. So watch the butters that you're using. And here you have your fish and seafood, your nuts, look over here, your omega-3. So this diet is incorporating, when we think about the pyramid that we talked about, your nuts, all of these things here, right, was three times a week, you're getting those omega-3s. So, and that's what they're telling you as far as the supplements for heart health. And then your whole grains, anything, quinoa, stuff like that, when you're eating them, they actually, one thing's good is in the morning when you like old timers and stuff, when they'd get up and eat their oats and all of that. That was wonderful. That I always said it kind of like I consider your arteries is like a pipe, right? And if you keep putting stuff down that pipe that sticks to the walls, you need some roto-rooter in there, right? You need some of those that roughage to go down there and the oats and stuff to clean and scrape those walls to clear that out. So that's it, that's the main thing there as far as the Mediterranean diet for heart.
Yes, Roto-Rooter. So get your
Yes,
good
call the
fats
roto-rooter.
in your roughage. And
Yes,
yeah, it's just very fresh, very colorful type of way of eating, and eating from, I guess, the source versus having it processed through
yes.
something over and over again. So if you're eating the broccoli, get it as fresh as you can. Frozen or can is the next best thing. And it just tastes good. Like the more color you have on your plate, and like if we look at the diagram again, you see how colorful it is. Just the red,
Yes.
the orange, the greens, just it's just beautiful. And you eat with your eyes for the most part. So yeah.
And you want to know what's awesome here, too, is as far the Mediterranean also diet has also been studied for cognitive ability, which is absolutely wonderful. I don't know, a lot of times when people hear Mediterranean diet, they think it's correlated with lower risk of Alzheimer's disease and slower cognitive decline. And again, you're talking about those omegas, very important supplements, nutritional value in these things that you are eating. And again, we talk about the red wine. A lot of times red wine, people with high cholesterol, we talk about LDL, HDL, keeping those levels, under control, keeping that one up, the other one down. So your red wine also is a blood thinner. You'll hear a lot of people now, if you're on blood thinners and stuff, again, anything that we say, we're not doctors. We can only suggest. Always ask your physicians or your holistic person and stuff before you start a new diet. But a lot of times, the red wine is a blood thinner. So if you have bad cholesterol, high cholesterol, clogged arteries, a lot of times that red wine will kind of thin your blood, which will allow to pass through, obviously, the arteries, which will make your heart not pump as hard.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add what you said about the risk of Alzheimer, and it's more because you're not eating the processed sugar. The sugar, you're eating fewer of that. So that's what feeds the, I don't know, the bad cancerous cells, the things that is deteriorating your memory and just all the bad stuff. So when you starve those things, like the process, like, you know, the white breads and the cookies and all that stuff, that just helps prolong your life and just increases the quality, because you're less likely to have diabetes, less likely to have all those diseases that affect us because of the standard American diet that has, the pyramid is inverted, is like you have a lot of the processed stuff in it. And because we are such a nation of do it for me now, like we need the packaged food, we need the as fast as possible. So we kind of lost the art or the thing of like making food for ourselves. We don't need it to be done in 5 minutes. You just gotta, get back to like using ingredients in its form so that you can make something beautiful and delicious that is probably better for you and a lot more affordable.
And you're so right. We talked before. Here's the thing: we talked before about educating. We just become, as a nation, we talked before about all this process stuff, and if you were put in a room full of asbestos, are you going to stay in that room? No, you're going to leave that room and try to get out of that environment, right? So many people's worried about this outside environment. They're not worried about what's inside, the inside environment. Like, what are you putting in there? All that processed stuff, all those things. You see those beautiful colors on there. When they're on shelf lives and they're 2 to 3 weeks old and they're still that color, that's not normal. That is not normal. So teaching the kids, and remember we talked about last week, we talked about sharing with the young and educating them, and that's where so many people and so many people in the country, and it's sad because they're not being educated on proper eating. They're just doing so. They're getting all these bad things from our environment that is causing our brain. We're a fine-tuned machine, right? Different things where things were planted and things were grown on this earth to feed us, to keep us alive, right? So when you start adding in all these other things that are not supposed to be there, you're going to have problems with our memory. You're going to have brain fog. You're going to have Alzheimer's coming up because our body's getting filled with yuck. So she's back, I think. Christine, are you there?
Oh, so
Just join in, Christine, whenever you hear us or whenever you're able to speak.
All right. So we kind of poo-poo the sugar and the dessert stuff, but that's like that.
Oh.
You're starting to come through. There she is. Froze.
Yeah. That's the wonderful world of
technology.
Technology, yeah. It's okay. So I just wanted to share something I just made like a couple hours ago. This is a chocolate a keto chocolate brownie cupcake thing that I put it in a little ramekin, and it's made with sunflower seed flour
Nice.
and with some Lakanto monk fruit. And this is a low GI, low glycemic index, and it tastes so good. It's moist, so I've had taste. Look at it. It just looks like a brownie, a cake, and
Yeah.
this came together in like 30 minutes.
Nice. Wonderful. And those nuts. Very good. Very good. And we can't get through a show without her eating some of her wonderful stuff.
Yeah, well, I got and so I had some rhubarb fillings.
Nice.
Put it in the middle. I didn't know if it was gonna go together or not, but it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, it looks good. Top it with that, fresh strawberries, fresh blueberries, anything that you want. But there you go, And again, so make sure that you're educating yourself, your kids, all of that on the healthy food and getting America back to, a healthier version of itself. I didn't know. I think Christine went out again. Christine, I'm so sorry. We want to hear you so bad. So we'll keep waiting for you till the time is up here. What time we got? 15 minutes there, like.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we talk about that, and again, utilizing and we have so many tools at our fingertips now to learn about these different dietary plans, cooking shows, all of this stuff, which CWC is it all. We're about movement, we're about food, we're about overall mind, body, soul, right? Yes. With our water challenge, which I just had, I've been killing that. This challenge I'm really good at because I love water, which tomorrow I was going to share today, which tomorrow I want to share my hydration station. And I got a mint plant. I bought a mint plant. I'm so excited. I got to pick it up tomorrow. So I put the mints in my water to soak also. But
Yeah.
is there anybody out there that has any questions here, any more about the Mediterranean diet or anything as far as heart, diabetes?
No question yet so far, but I have a question for you.
I'm gonna see if I can answer it.
Do you have a favorite meal or recipe that you make using the Mediterranean way of eating? Like, I know that you are a big fan of shrimp.
That I'm allergic to now.
But
we ain't gonna go there.
we're going to go there. So do you have something that you like as your go-to kind of meal that you prepare for yourself and your family that incorporates all of this good stuff, omega-3s and good fats and all that stuff?
Yes. In fact, the meal that I had last night, and Maya, are you able to bring that up on the screen? Yes.
Which one?
It was last night's meal. I put it on the site. What it was is I try to incorporate salmon or cod. That's another one. That's freshwater fish. But hey, there she is. Hi, Regina. It's nice to see you.
Hi.
And girlfriend here just had a birthday and an anniversary, right?
Yeah, yesterday.
So happy love and happy birth.
Thank you so much.
So we were just discussing on here what is my favorite meal here for the Mediterranean, and I was telling her I like to always every week I at least have salmon, and last night I had salmon and I had mixed vegetables. It was the broccoli, the beans, snap peas. There's the nuts that are in there, the walnuts that are in there, and it was over quinoa, and that's what I had. Yes.
Nice. Nice.
Yes, that was there, and absolute, I love it. Like, I'm a huge, my two favorite things was salmon and the shrimp. Just found out I had an allergy to shrimp, so I have to kind of KO the shrimp, but I'm sure I might sneak it once in a while.
So you got your vitamin A, K, C, you got your potassium, you got your omega-3 fatty acids, and you
Yep.
and you got some good and you got some carbs in.
Yes,
Low
and
carbs. That's the good.
I did the salmon in extra virgin olive oil, and then I did my vegetables just a little bit of the avocado oil.
Okay.
So
Okay. Sounds
I'm
good.
lubing those joints, lubing those arteries.
Exactly.
So yes. So
Yeah.
to answer your question, that one is my favorite. So and I didn't have the red wine though. I got to go get some more red wine.
Okay.
So Regina, is there anything you would like to share in here as far as with the Mediterranean diet? First, if you want to introduce yourself and say our two foodies in here. So anybody has a question about some food, I got the Italian food over here, but these two, they cook their butts off. So.
Oh yeah. So I'm Regina. I learned about the Mediterranean diet doing the MOVE program at the VA hospital
Mm-hmm.
about weight loss and lifestyle changes. For me, because I don't eat meat, because I am plant based, I have to find other ways to get protein in. Which you get protein from plants. There's soybeans, there's mushrooms, there's protein in broccoli, there's your beans. So basically, you can think about being plant based. You can look at it like the Mediterranean diet, but without the seafood. It's kind of sort
Mm-hmm.
of the same thing, like Mai said, fresh versus frozen vegetables, uh,
Yummy.
and then frozen, over instead of canned vegetables. So you're really encouraged to eat a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, and to ping off what you said, just be mindful that you're not always eating the sweeter fruits like peaches, plums, nectarines, things like that. You want to eat more neutral like strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, oranges, grapefruit, apples, the vegetables that are good for you, but don't have a high sugar content. And I know a lot of people were like, well, it's natural sugar. And
Sugar. Yeah.
that's the thing, Heidi. Sugar is sugar. And
Mm-hmm.
you can take something that is generally good and healthy for you and have too much of it and end up turning it into a bad thing. So
Right.
you have to be, mindful about that. So yeah, I get it. I would encourage anybody to do Mediterranean. I really would, especially if they're looking for a healthier option. If especially if they're not necessarily ready to be plant based or ready to like keto, this is a good base lifestyle change to have a starting point at to kind of figure out what direction you really want to take with your eating and your wellness journey.
Yeah, so I just also wanted to add with the fruit, we can get any type of fruit year round, but doesn't mean that you should be eating things that are out of season. So if you shop the farmer's market,
Yeah.
that's how when you know that you should be eating this type of fruit. So it's so you're like our ancestors. We didn't have bananas available year round. You have it during a certain season and you eat it. But now with with the agriculture being so worldwide, we can have it anytime. But that doesn't mean that we should be eating those. So just try to be mindful to eat in season, eat the colorful foods.
Mhm.
This is my daughter, Matilda.
Hi, sweetie.
She's excited because it's one more day of school left, and we're going on vacation. And she's going to be hopefully trying some stuff on the road that she hasn't tried before.
Awesome.
Nice.
But also, I wanted to share Regina's meal that she made today. It's kind of
It looks
Mediterranean,
beautiful.
right? You want to talk about that?
Okay, so I'm a girl who, first of all, I love pasta. Like pasta, pasta, pasta. I think in a former life, I was Jamaican and Italian. I'm telling you. I just love pasta and garlic and things like that. So I had to
Yes.
figure out a way to enjoy it, but not with all the carbs. Being plant based, a lot of the plant based pasta, is made from chickpeas or it's made from brown rice, so it can be high in carbs. So these are noodles made from hearts of palm, which are low in calories, low in carbs, low in fat, high in vitamins. They also carry protein, and the brand is Palmini. And I found this brand at Harris Teeter, and they also make hearts of palm lasagna noodles. These are the linguine. So this is just hearts of palm linguine noodles, multicolored peppers, cherry tomatoes, cucumbers, and I did the Italian dressing with canola oil, apple cider vinegar, Italian seasoning, crushed pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and then I went outside to the garden and got some basil and parsley. And a note is to do everything in a jar, put a lid on it, and just shake it up. So you don't have to pour everything into a cup and measure it and then whisk it. It's just so much easier. And this recipe literally took 15 minutes.
That looks absolutely, sorry, here I was writing to Christine. Absolutely amazing. Like, yeah, I need to have that recipe for sure.
Thank you. Well, that's
And
a serving size for the average plate. A serving size would be like 1 cup to a cup and a half. And if you count the fiber, the carbs and fiber, because I always keep the skin on the cucumber, because we need that fiber to clear those arteries out, right?
yeah,
That one serving is gonna give you it's like 5.5 grams of carbs in that cup and a half. And if you think about it, a cup and a half, that's a lot of food.
yeah.
Especially if you're pairing it with your choice of protein, and if you're also pairing it with another vegetable. That'll give you a pretty full plate.
So I
Right.
also wanted to show another dish that
Ooh,
you made. This is Mediterranean. So can you please share what it is? Looks amazing. I love the colors.
So
Fresh.
it so in my cookbook, So Deliciously Vegan, I have a recipe for some buffalo chickpea sliders. But chickpeas are a good source of protein, but they're also higher on the carbon. So I use Sweet Earth brand plant-based chicken, which is only 6 grams of carbs per serving. So, and then I use the Olay brand tortilla wrap, which is also low carb. That wrap is 4 grams of carbs from the tortilla, 6 grams of carbs from the meat, and all I did was put some plant-based butter, 1 tablespoon of plant-based butter in a skillet. I put the Sweet Earth brand chicken in there and let that cook for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then I added some Texas Pete hot sauce. I like it spicy, so I did add some gochugaru, but that's just me. I love that heat level. And then onion powder, garlic powder, Cajun spice, and then I just wrapped it in a wrap with some baby kale and some arugula, which I like because it has a peppery bite to it. And I just sliced some tomatoes out the garden off the side and just threw some strawberries on there. And I ate that to break my fast.
oh, that
Fantastic.
looks, yeah, there's you guys' meals like, oh my goodness. Let's kind of get back to, because you see these plates like this and I'm starving because
And
I didn't eat it's a supper yet. And I'm looking at these plates and their cooking is so amazing. Please be sure to check these ladies out and give your information, ladies. Make sure that you're putting it in there for other people to see. And Regina, please put in there, which I have to get with you, girl, because I want that book because I need to get more healthy recipes. So definitely put that information on there and share. And I was trying to get a hold to of Christine to put her information in there, because to follow the people on this panel is so amazing. CWC offers so much love. Let's just put the word love out there, because we do. These are my sisters, and Courtney's our big brother. He's our big strong brother and stuff. And so we have so much to offer there. And to please check us out. Check these ladies out. Yes, look at that. Okay, you guys are just teasing me now. Mai keeps putting these on the screen.
Right. Regina, you want to talk about this event happening tomorrow?
So tomorrow, since Maya's on vacation, I'll be doing the cooking class. I'll be filling in. And then we are going to have a quick and savory stir-fried bok choy. It literally takes less than 10 minutes. And it's so full of nutrients. And then after you make this recipe and you put it on your plate, it looks so pretty and colorful. And if you want to add a protein to it, you can, or you can just do like me. Sometimes I'll top it with sesame seeds at the end because that's a source of protein, or I'll top it with flaxseed, things like that. But it's really easy. And recipes are meant to be fun. If you can drive all the way across town, somebody's drive-through, and wait and get mad because it's taking too long, you could have easily made a meal in the kitchen.
Yes. And that's what, when we talked about the Mediterranean culture and that, you get a sense, like, honest to God, I love cooking. I cook a lot. I mean, I've cooked a lot and learned a lot from my dad and cooking. My mom was the baker and my dad was the cook. So, but just doing that, there was a sense of pride. There was a sense, and I don't know about you too, but when you cook it, then when you're cooking so much, you learn to appreciate every single nugget of nutrients in that. And you're like, oh, little pea over there, you're giving me this. You're this spinach over here, you are going to give me iron for my, so you start to like love and appreciate everything that you're putting in your mouth and on your plate. And then when you give that back to your family or friends or whoever you're serving, I mean, what a wonderful gesture of health that is.
It truly is. Or when one of your clients tells you, hey, my A1C was a 6.2 and now it's a 7.0. And I'm like, awesome. You just keep your foot on the gas. Don't let up. You're doing great. I mean, it's so many benefits to the lifestyle, not just plant-based, but just to overall wellness. If you're on the journey,
Yes.
serious about getting well, whatever type of meal change, I won't say diet, but whatever type of meal change or food change that you're going through, any of these will work. The Mediterranean, the plant-based, the pescatarian, any of these will work to get you started, to help you figure it out what it is you want to do. Because for a hot minute, I was pescatarian. I was like, I am not giving up my shrimp. I'm not giving up my like. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
After a while, I realized, yeah, I can do it. I don't do that much. It's not even that serious. So yeah, it's a good starting point. This panel right here, this discussion, this topic, it's a really good starting point in your journey to get healthy, especially if you don't know what to do, you don't know what to eat, and you don't know where to start in the kitchen. But that's
Right. And that's what we was talking about. There's so much. That's why we're bringing it to you every week, ideas. And then you form your own pyramid of what you need here and what you need less of, what you need more of. Again, this one here, if somebody is dairy intolerant or that, this might be a good one for you because it concentrates on others. So it's so important to check all, but the basis of it, and to just have a culture in general of good health.
Yes.
Well, you can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that. And it all circles around, no matter what plan that you do, it all circles around healthy food. So, pick one. You might incorporate this with this and that with that. But at the end of the day, if you're eating healthy and you're doing good portion sizes and you're doing fresh foods, you can't go wrong.
Exactly.
So, anything else, ladies? Be sure, if you guys did just put that up on the screen there, if anybody is interested in getting Regina's book or watching these two amazing ladies while they cook, also go ahead and we can put that up on the screen.
Yeah. So we'll go back in the comment and put in our information.
Okay.
But our Regina's cooking, teaching you guys how to cook quick and savory bok choy stir fry tomorrow at 7 p.m. EDT, Eastern Daylight Time, or 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and whatever in between the time zone. It's going to be recorded on our YouTube, as well as our iCourtney accountability group. And if you don't have bok choy, do you have to use bok choy, or can you use another?
This recipe is really versatile. So I made it the other day, and I used zucchini scraps. Actually, I did zucchini noodles for my clients, but when you get down to the part where
Yes.
the seeds show, you don't use you don't make noodles out of that. So then I just chopped it up and I tried it with that. So you can do it with zucchini, squash. This works with broccoli. It's really, 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 really versatile. Any raw vegetable. I love shishito peppers, so it's good with that. I've done it with fresh green beans. Yeah, so any vegetable works. Any fresh vegetable will work.
Exactly. So that's the freedom of when you can kind of use the recipe as a blueprint, but you don't have to use it as like, this is absolutely, I need all of these ingredients. If I don't have one thing, I cannot make it. And we're trying to get away from that mindset, because it's not possible to get certain ingredients, whether it's out of season or you don't want to go to the grocery store. You try to look into your refrigerator and see what's available. And sometimes it turns out even better than what the original recipe comes out for. And you're going to be like, oh my God, that was so easy, or that turned out really well. I'm so surprised. Like, you get that sense of pride and you're so proud of your creation, because it works.
You learn what to substitute. I mean, how many times have I was like, ooh, don't have that. I'm doing my own version of this, and I'm putting my own stuff in. Oh my goodness, there. But we have fun, and you learn what substitutes and what areas of food that you need, and so totally awesome, ladies. So much information. Was there anything else you guys wanted to share before we close up?
No.
And I just want to thank too, Christine, if you're out there, we love you, girl. Thank you so much. I wish we could have heard more from you there, but technology, again, is not always kind. And thank you to ladies over here and CWC. Be sure to check it out. We are shaking, we're moving, we're cooking. We're just overall health and wealth, and also too, talk about wealth. If you wanted to learn a little bit more about the cryptocurrency, we got Miss Patricia that will be doing a session on that. That's Thursday.
Yes, Thursday 7 to 8.
8 to 9, I think.
8 to 9. Okay.
But yeah. Check out the events. I could be wrong. I thought I seen that but I could be wrong. But check that out. Again, check out CWC. Awesome. So thank you guys very much. God bless you all. Stay healthy, stay hydrated, and stay beautiful.